So if you watched my previous video talking about preparing for a snowstorm, the snowstorm happened, and it's pretty deep. So I skipped a day of coming out here because I was just tired and it was really cold and I had a lot of things to do in the house. And now that all the chores are done, I am free to take a little adventure up to the top and look at a panoramic view of the mountains up there. So I have a blanket wrapped around me. I'm pretending that it's a scarf, and I have a towel flung over my shoulder so that once I get up to the campfire site, if I choose to sit down, I can brush off the snow off the chair, one of the chairs, and because the brush is already up there. And then I could potentially put the towel in the chair for warmth and use the blanket if I need to. It smells so nice and fresh out here. I wish that there was smell-o-vision so that you could smell how fresh it is. And also my husband is starting a fire inside of the house because it's like a tradition. He knows anytime I go up to the mountain that it's always nice that I can smell preferably cherry tree burning in our fireplace. So I'm not sure what he's gonna burn, but I look forward to the smell. He's lighting a fire right now. He's cleaning out the ashes first. So I'm looking at footy prints. That's one of the things I love to do when I hike up the mountain. So I'll be showing you some footy prints from various locations. What we're looking at straight ahead is what I refer to as the Crystal Fortress. It's a wall that I built with two entrances. The wall is going around the entire area, which is a sort of a nature trail of forest plants that you would find in a forest, mostly natives of New York. And it has some other very interesting focal points inside. If the sun were shining, you'd see a bunch of crystals sparkling around the tree branches above the wall and actually on the wall. And at night, it's lit up with solar fairy lights. And inside, there are just different things. There are bells on a sugar maple tree, which I refer to as the bell tree, and some other things kind of meant for children, but it seems like the adults might like it just as much, if not more. So we're going to trek up that way and pass through it. I'll pause here for just a second so you can see how thick the snow is on the barn garage, which we have plans for now. We're going to paint the entire garage, not just the doors. My husband built those doors, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. That's a whole other video to talk about because it was very interesting the way he accomplished it with no help. Anyway, so big plans for that. Now we're closer to the wall, and this is the original entrance that I made, and the other one is around that corner. And I'm just gonna go through it. Hopefully, it's very slippery and deep, so I'm using my walking stick to go through. There are little birdie prints everywhere, and other animals as well. So you can see, for instance, there's a crystal right there. What I've also done, as you can see, this thorny green is a, oh wow, and the texture on that branch is really interesting. Anyway, I get distracted with nature a lot. Here's another, where'd it go? Cube crystal. And then the, one of the solar panels. Anyway, so this thorny green is called multiflora. It's a wild horribly invasive, oh, I just knocked snow all over my head, rose shrub. Oh, I'm tripping over stuff. And it's kind of horrible, but I love it at the same time because the flowers are so sweet. There's the other entrance over there, which needs help because we had a windstorm. I'm gonna have to repair that and rebuild some of it. And in any case, on this side, I've been trying to intertwine the rose into the arch. And you can see it still has some leaves on it from this year. But not only will it, this was the first year I actually got to appreciate my hard work of trying to get it to train it to go from down here over the top and into the wall. And it smelled amazing, and it started to strengthen the arch to keep the branches together. So it's kind of a horrible invasive that I have kind of accepted and I'm working with it. It's kind of like bittersweet vines, another horrible invasive, but I'm working with it. Look at all the deer prints, so cute. Anyway, so that's part of the invasive stories. I have lots of stories about the invasives that we are dealing with here in the Hudson Valley. Anyway, there's one of the trees that fell, 2 more trees over there. I've just worked with it. We're not gonna pay people to take out stumps when actually they kind of look interesting. And if you study as much as I do, you know that there are places, famous gardens, that actually have stumperies. That's what they refer to them as, stumperies, which are gardens that have either naturally fallen stumps or stumps that have moved. They have been moved to a place where they would like to grow plants around the stumps. And I think it's kind of fascinating to see a stump because you see underneath the tree. So since I have no choice but leaving it there, I might as well work with it. It's actually a piece of art, natural art. The ones over there, I'll show you another day. I actually incorporated them into a sort of an archaeology project for children to enjoy. It's really hard to climb right now, especially with one hand. This is the thinking rock. It's busy right now. It's not a good place to think, but it's a beautiful rock outcrop between the bell tree, which is where I'm standing. It has wind chimes on it too. That's another wall that I'm building to disguise one of many refuse. I call them refuse stations. I have to have several of them throughout the property to put the refuse because when I'm pruning, it's just such a mess. There's so much that needs to find a place to just be away from the gardens. These are some of the lights that come on at night. Here is the wise old man from the forest. He guards the fortress and he looks very cold. Anyway, this is the refuse pile right here. So that's refuse station number 2. Oh no, actually 3. There's one down there and then there's a big one. Station 2 is, oh no, this is station 4 actually, because station 2 is, yeah, I'm gonna have to work that out because there's another one behind on the other side of the garage. So technically I keep adding refuse stations because it's really annoying to have to take refuse far away from where you are. So this is one of the newer ones. So this is gonna be station 4 now. Anyway, I'm gonna go up here. Poor little thing. I'm not really into like little dime store dime store, I don't know, what do you call them? Figurines, outdoor figurines, but I did get this gnome. It was actually for the chickens when we used to have chickens. But now I decided maybe it should be up here. I bet he's cold. Anyway, moving on. This video is already 10 minutes long. Just rambling. This is one of my favorite spots. These beautiful, beautiful evergreen trees that I probably would just die if anything happened to them. Now here, whoa, slipping. I'm gonna switch hands, I think. I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Anyway, this is supposed to be underneath here are some steps that I built with rocks and slate pieces, and it doesn't do me any good now. And this, I'm about to walk up into this little section, which is the future cutting garden, where I'll have a lot of flowers that I can just cut and not care and not worry about them. Just use it for vases, but also it would be nice up here to sit in those chaise lounges and enjoy some flowers, being surrounded by flowers. Oh gosh, it's cold. It's starting to hit me now. So these are the chairs I'm thinking about. Oh, the Christmas tree's not on. I forgot to plug it in myself. I guess I could try and text my husband to turn it on for me, because it's always nice, especially since it's, I don't even know what day this is. I think it's, I really don't know. 28th? 29th? Hey, I think it's a Sunday. I've lost track because I just I shut down. I just don't think about what day it is anymore right now. The sky is so beautiful. I love winter skies. I hear someone shoveling. That's another reason I didn't come out yesterday, because it was noisy with plows, blowers, shovels, anger. A lot of people get annoyed and angry when it snows. Well, these are some interesting prints. I don't really see the hooves in them. They almost could pass for a human footprint, which would make me a little annoyed if someone were trespassing. But I don't think anybody would trespass to go in there. It's nothing but briars. But I guess it's a deer, but don't see the hoof. This is what always puzzles us. It's like the animals changed their minds. They started walking, did a little circle, and said, nah, I'm going back the way I came. Oh, my neighbors are coming. I was hoping they'd get home before it got icy, because now I'm so confused. The weather says something about more snow on the way, but it also shows a ton of ice. So now we're preparing, I don't know what we're preparing for, more precipitation basically. And I hope it's not going to ruin trees. Hope it's not going to be heavy ice that's going to ruin the trees. That's always something that really bothers me, because have deep relationships with all of my trees. Oh wow, the bench in the Zen garden looks nice with snow on top of it. That's nice. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go up to the top that way, and then I might come down and just sit here. I am not going to start a fire, I don't think. Oh no, I can't. I didn't bring the matches or the lighter or anything, so I'm not going to do that. That is the brush I was referring to. So I might deal with that later. I just noticed our previous and original Charlie Brown Christmas tree looks really good in the snow right now. And I like the way the snow is sitting on those old stumps. I'm on one of the little paths to get to the base of the rest of the mountain, and it's like the animals had a little tussle in this section. And we know which animal it was, obviously. We call those little Kalamata olives. Ew, gross. This is the beginning of one of the trails. I have a perimeter trail that goes around our edges of our property. And when I built these trails, I didn't just build them anywhere. I built them according to how the animals built them. Pretty much the trails were already there by the deer and any other wildlife that chose to go in that direction, and seemed like it would work for me, so I just continued what they started, and I made it more and more clear. And I think they love me for it, because I see them physically, I see them with my eyes taking our trails everywhere on the property, and I just think it's so cute, because it's like, I think they love me because I helped them. Now they don't have to run into brush and thorns. So we're gonna go up this way. So cute. It's like they took the trail all the way up. I love how they do this. I don't know, it just makes me happy. It's a small, simple thing. But it's like we just share. The animals, they just do what they want to do, and we just share. So cute. It's about to get more steep now, so might have to and it's also interesting because now they've decided to rebel and they went up that way, but the trail is this way. Anyway, it's gonna get steep and slick, so I'm gonna have to pause again going this way. So now I'm up at the pipes that I told you about in the last video. Hold on a second, let me move a little bit. It's very, very slippery. Oh. Those are the little soldiers. Looks like two of the installations are completely buried because they're small and low. And now my hand's wet. This is what I had to really repair a couple of days ago. The Druid Crescent. Let me get closer to that. Yeah, there's definitely one leaning again. One of the short ones on the right side. But they look really nice in the snow. It's my favorite time to come and look at them. They're about midway up the last part of our mountain, which goes up that way. I'll go there in a minute so I can see all the other mountains. If you look straight, that's Mount Beacon, but it's really hard to see. It's there. It's barely blue. It's almost like they're getting snow right now. I wonder what the view is going to be like at the top of the mountain. I'm going to go up there. I can hear people shoveling again. It must be my neighbor. I'm going to go around to one of the main, actually the first trail that I ever cleared, which is this way, as you can just follow the footprints. Because this is maybe the most worn trail. Ew, yeah, I'm gonna have to step around. Deer, they just have to poop everywhere, Jesus. Gross. Oh. Okay, so this is the original trail. As you can see, it's heavily walked upon by deer and other lovely creatures we have. We have so many different animals. I could potentially sit in that chair, but I don't know if I want to. Actually, where am I? Okay, I'm just gonna follow the footprints. This is the trail. For a second, I kind of was thinking I was getting off course because I saw those footprints. No, this is the trail. I think what's throwing me off is that tree is leaning more than it did before, and I don't really remember going under it. Huh. But this is right. This is accurate because the chair is close to the trail. I'm trying to avoid deer droppings again. I think this tree is leaning more. Crap, that means it's gonna fall and probably hit the installations. Well, as long as it doesn't fall on me as of this moment. We'll deal with that another day. Look at this leaf, it's so huge. Huge oak leaf. I think my hat's falling off. It's getting harder to walk. The higher I go, it gets steeper. Jeez. More branches have fallen. I'll have to deal with that. Next week we're gonna have a lot of really frigid evening temperatures. Last night it was 10. I think it's gonna be okay tonight, and then there are gonna be some days of 11 degrees. It's just annoying to drip pipes and not forget to drip them. This is just becoming extra steep. I have more branches to deal with. But this is my favorite part. The rock outcrops at the top. Deer seem to have no problem walking up these steep areas. I just love the rocks. They're so pretty. Okay, I'm really gonna have to hold on to this tree. It's just too slippery. Right here is a bad spot. In fact, let me just pause it a second, because this is where I have a permanent injury on my ankle from this spot. I made it, but that was a struggle right there. I might have to deal with that section right there in the spring to fix it, because every time I come up to this tree, there's a slick spot. It's too steep, needs traction or something, especially in the snow. And that is where it's actually somewhere right there in January of 2024. I slipped just a hair and gave myself a permanent kind of arthritic ligament situation. I don't know. I don't even really, it's gotten complicated. I don't know what happened exactly to, I guess I didn't wear a boot long enough or something in my ankle, and it kind of permanently will hurt, I guess, but whatever. It doesn't hurt right now, so I'm fine. I was hoping to see more mountain view, but it looks like the clouds are, there's a lot of snow on Mount Beacon though. I think the clouds are just too much. I can't get quite the panoramic view of blue mountains that I usually get. There's blue sky and there's some blue mountain, but not as much as if it were a sunny day, but beautiful nonetheless. Still my favorite place to be. I can see my neighbor. I wonder what he's doing. Actually, that's Mount Beacon. It's hard to tell today, actually. Anyway, so what I did is the trail comes up here. You can see the indentations of the edges, and then it goes this way. It's easy to see because the snow is deep, but not deep enough to hide the edges, which are fallen tree trunks that I put into place to make this. This is the Summit Cross Trail, even though it's not technically the summit because the summit is up there. But I decided to just keep it well within the boundaries of our property line. And it's really easy to see fallen trees when there's snow. I don't remember that tree being down like that ahead of me. Man, I hope we don't have any more fallen trees. If we keep having fallen trees, we won't have a forest. Anyway, so this is a great flat trail. I really love it because the views from up here are really nice. It's just so hard to walk, and there are rocks and roots under me. I'm trying not to trip. I call that tree straight ahead the Three Sisters because it's a tree with 3 trunks. Oh, so beautiful. Even if I can't see the mountains like I want to, it's still gorgeous. This is when my husband starts thinking, when is she coming back? When is she coming back down to the cottage? We're gonna eat an early dinner. I have such plans for this forest. Just improvements, just clearing some dead things and moving them and reusing them for other purposes. I'm not gonna go down. This is the perimeter. Well, one's just as bad as the other, actually, when it comes to this ridge. So maybe I'll just get off the trail completely and walk where it's safe. I'm not interested in having more injury than I already have. This way is the trail, the official trail that you can see the footprints of the deer again, but I think I might go around it because it's just too slippery right there. It could be my imagination, but I think the snow is deeper up here too, and it's definitely slippery. It's a very nice powdery, my favorite kind of dry, squeaky, powdery snow. But oh, now I can see the mountain better too, the outline. I really don't want to leave. I should have a chair up here. This is just breathtaking to just sit here and do nothing. Just stare. I only hear traffic, probably on the interstate. But it's just so nice. I love how the snow is wrapped around the base of this tree trunk. Now this is the rock wall, but it's so covered that I can't even tell where it is. Anyway, I'm just gonna carefully better, but I'd probably still fall. Oh, of course, there's stupid briars over here. Great. But look, you can see the pipes, the big pipes, which is another angle that I love seeing them because they're not obvious. They're not intrusive. They sort of blend in, even though they're a silvery gray color. I don't know what I'm stepping on right now, but it feels really strange. And I hope my foot doesn't get stuck. But anyway, that was my whole vision, is to put them somewhere where they could really be enjoyed, but not in your face. They're not a crazy wild color. They're just sort of a muted color, and they're just kind of interesting to look at. They're just tall and lean and pointy. I am going to slip. Oh, yeah. Oh my, it's bad over here. I should have just gone over there. You can see the trail right there. This is just about as bad. Maybe worse because I don't know what I'm stepping on. You're kind of screwed either way. I love how those branches look like they're in sand at a beach or something. Wind blown. I'm gonna have to come up here and do a lot of cleaning up because I have realized that I'm gonna get back on the trail while I'm talking. I've realized that collecting firewood is so therapeutic, and I didn't really think of that in all the years that I've been. Sorry about my thumb. I don't know why my fingers keep getting into the camera. Anyway, I find it very therapeutic. It's kind of like an I Spy game or an Easter egg hunt. And I just enjoy it so much. And I'm going to start doing it more than I have in the past. This is a view that I really like, the pipes and the mountain in the background. But this is kind of a hard, actually it's easier to see the trail on the camera than it is in front of me. Interesting. This beautiful tree that's got the blanket of snow wrapped around it has beautiful moss underneath the snow. And this is one of my favorite trees. So I made the trail go around it in a circle. Go around this way. God, that's so nice. So look at that. It's like a little lip edging. It's curled over like a wave on the ocean. Really? That's so cool. Never noticed that before. This is a first, I guess. Interesting. More scuffling. The deer. Oh. Getting exercise. I tell you what, this balancing act that I've been doing ever since I got up here. Yeah, well, now I lost it again. Where is it? The zipper is just peeking up. And I think the sunburst is probably just buried. It's much lower into the ground. But I think at least one of these pipes is 9 feet tall. If it's not in the ground, that is. Now it's probably 7 feet tall. Well, no, it's not. It's probably 8 feet tall because they're not buried very deeply at all because that would take away from their height, which is why I have to come out here and fix them all the time because I'm just using gravity and a few rocks at the base. Each base has a little circle of rocks around it, but I'm trying not to use concrete. I'd rather it be natural as possible. That tree leaning really worries me, though. I'll have to figure out if I could saw it. I don't know. I hear movement. I don't know if it's an animal or a neighbor. The thing about the snow is when you stand still, you start to get cold. I've actually been staying pretty warm because I keep moving and I'm generating so much heat from all the balancing that I have to do. So my hands do not have gloves on, as you can see, because they've been on the camera so many times today. But they're warm. They're warm enough. I see a red light through there. Maybe a tail light. So strange place to see a tail light, but anyway. I'm just trying not to fall. I'd kind of like to go on my other trail, but maybe I'll just stay on this one and we'll do the other one another day. Kicking branches underneath my feet. A man that we met the other day, I was explaining the pipes to him, giving him one of my brochures, and he said something about, that's something, your eccentric projects or whatever. So basically I just say to myself, that's a compliment. Some of the eccentrics that we know who are famous are genius, so I'll take it as a compliment. Maybe I'm genius, I don't know. But he is the first person who's ever used the word eccentric to me about my pipes. I don't care. I do what I want. It's just as long as I don't fall. Trying not to fall. It's really bad here. Oh, I think that might be a squirrel's nest. It's awfully big. Silly squirrels. Everywhere I go, there's a tree branch in front of my path. It's getting very, I'm coming down. My son has climbed glacier mountains that are like 18,000 feet in Peru or Mexico, different places. And I can't seem to manage today to go almost 400 feet without slippage. But considering I only have one walking stick in one hand and a phone in the other, and I have not fallen, I guess I'm okay. I don't think I would even dare climb anything that high. I know I won't. I will never do that. But now I'm kind of wondering if I could even climb 4,000 rather than 400. Oh, well, that's not going anywhere. That was a waste of my time. It's frozen in the ground. I'll just have to step over it. Whoa. That's just so ridiculous. Oh, this is a really big tree. That's a very large, old trunk. That's a lot of snow around it, too. Wish you could see this in person. It's way better in person than it is on a video. People make fun of me, except for one of my closest friends. She probably loves snow as much as I do. But my family, unfortunately, and other friends and other relatives, they're just not into it like I am. They get really cold easily, and I don't. I don't know why, but I guess I'm just built for freezing temperatures. And it's not anything that I developed by moving to the Hudson Valley. I say this as I'm slipping down, trying to hold on to dear life here. I'm I grew up this way on my parents' farm, and back before this supposed global warming issue that we're having, I grew up in the 70s and 80s on my parents' farm, and I was outside all the time, no matter what the temperature, and I would stay out there for hours and not, you know, it wasn't in New York snow mountains or anything, but it got cold. Cold is cold. And actually, maybe I felt colder there than I did here because there was more of a humidity level. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But I've always been able to stay outside for hours and not be bothered by freezing temperatures so much. Depends. I guess it depends. I don't want to eat those words. It might depend on the situation. I think the coldest I've been in New York, in the Hudson Valley, was when we sang at Mohonk one year, and it was just kind of unbearable. It's kind of hard to sing in harsh temperatures, but other than that, if I'm just walking around having a good time at my own pace, I think that's maybe what has part of the problem was singing. We're just standing there, we're not moving around. So I just want to go into this little section. It's not, I did have a trail here once upon a time, and I need to revive it. I was trying to make an obstacle course in this area, and I'd like to have a small pond right about here, maybe one day. This tree is even bigger than the one I just showed you a few minutes ago. This tree is massive. The trunk is, I don't know, I'd love to count the rings on that. But I kind of would like to have a little wildlife pond right here. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it'd be kind of cool if it did. It's tempting to just walk that way to get to the other trail. Just because when you walk through snow, sometimes it's easier to get through briars in the snow than it is without the snow. I'd like to get these big logs and put them over here. As you can see, that's sort of a corner. I started to build like a little area. I don't know what it was going to be. In my mind, I wanted it to be a log cabin, but I knew that was impossible because I can't build a log cabin, even though I want to. Anyway, over here, I also had a cross trail over there that I have to revive. I'm trying to figure out, the other day I was building, well, I say the other day, I mean probably 3 months ago. I was clearing rather, what I refer to as an art room. What the hell does that mean? I was basically trying to make a little space that was secret off of the path and not, just not conspicuous, sort of just hidden right off the path where art could be placed. I might have gotten this in my head. Yeah, this is it right here. Because I used to work at Manitoga, and they have these moss rooms that I love. And I thought maybe I want an art room. So I started clearing this out. It has a lot of multiflora in it. And unfortunately, a couple of the trees here had those stupid bugs on them. The spotted lanternflies. So that kind of halted my plans because I just hated walking over here because the tree was literally raining on me. But this little section right here, this is, let me just go over here and turn around and show you. Oh, there's another lip. We would walk in this way where I just came. This would be more of a spring, summer, fall art room. This is the space, basically. And this is multiflora hedging. Basically, I'm trying to train it to just be a hedge. And so it's kind of, that's what makes it secret. So there's multiflora here and here and straight ahead there. And that sort of hides anything that you want to display. So it's sort of like a secret area that I'm working on in the future, spring, summer, fall of next year, and see if I can make something happen with that. And then the entrance is here. As you can tell, I've been hedging it, making it into a hedge. Again, that's one of the things I'm doing, is working with the horribly invasive plants of the Hudson Valley. This is the trail that goes up to where we were a few minutes ago. Anyway, so this is another trail that I'm starting to cut off because these, you certainly can't tell it now, but you can sort of see the outline of a foundation. This spot and that spot where that tree is leaning are ruins of some sort from decades and decades ago. This land used to be a farm. So this was either a barn or a stall for oxen. That's what I've been told. And I'm pretty sure it's true because we found yokes, chains, and all sorts of things that you would find on a farm with animals that helped, probably plowed the fields that used to be here. Anyway, so what I'm planning on doing is I have to remove all of this multiflora here. The tree obviously is staying. It's kind of interesting because it's leaning, but I hope it doesn't fall all the way. But even if it does, I'll just deal with it. A friend gave me a bunch of rusted, I don't know, just all kinds of things. I couldn't even tell you what they are. Some of them I just have no idea what they are. But they're all very interesting pieces of rust, really old. And I thought I'd like to have the ruins become a rust garden to appreciate the artifacts that he gave to me, because they're perfect for this area, because there's a corner in this section right here, and I just saw it like 2 days ago. I came up here to check on it, and the corner is built out of slate, and I had come in here, and years ago I'd come in here and dug up a ton of rusty artifacts, axes with no handles, hatchets and such, and yokes and chains, and even some dishes, actually, fragments of dishes. So, being that I love history so much, I wanted to have some sort of little mini museum, just a personal mini museum of historical artifacts from this property. So his rusty pieces and my rusty pieces together will be very interesting. I'm gonna work on that as soon as I can. I have a bunch of pieces that I have to bring to the spot first, and they're heavy, so it's going to be a job hauling them up here, but that's my plan. So these are going to be the rust rooms, or maybe the rust relic garden. I have to figure out what I want to call it. And then over across will be another art room, but I don't know if it'll be rust or not, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. There's another ruin up there. I don't think you can tell. It's all snowed in, but that is, I don't know what it is. It's 3 rock walls into the incline of the mountain, and we don't know what that was. It could have been another stall. Could have been a root cellar and the roof is gone. Could have been an ice house. I have no idea, but I love it. I love that it's there. Anyway, so my husband didn't turn on the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and I never did text him. I think I might just go sit in one of my chairs over there and just contemplate life. This is a nice trail right here because I just put fresh edges on top of the rotten edges because we lost another tree, so we had really big branches that I could shift over here all the way up to there. I love this little section because now it's like it's a four-way stop. 4 corners. Anyway, there's the mountain again. I can see it better than the phone can see it. You'll have to trust me. It looks really pretty. This is so much easier to walk. Till I get over here somewhere, I'll probably trip. And you can see how bad that tree is fallen. Basically, the tree is keeping itself up. It's leaning on itself to hold it up. And it's still healthy. It's still alive. The traffic is getting louder. I also hear Metro North trains. This looks like it got some recent damage. That's sad. This is what drives me crazy. I hate it when trees get injured. This is our original Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but now it's worse than ever. At least on this side. I wonder if the deer have been... This is suspicious. Yeah. Alright, another day, another day. This is what happens. I see things all the time. And here's that spot again where I stepped in the other day, and as frozen as the ground is, there's actually flowing water. I'd like to have a little stream right here and a little bridge. And this is the huge sugar maple. I mean, it's massive. It's very tall. And we're contemplating putting a swing on it for the grandchildren at some point, but I'm not sure that's going to work out. It's possible maybe, but I don't know if I want to swing on that tree. I don't know if I want to see a swing. The tree's so pretty just the way it is. Anyway. Smells so good. I think I do smell our fireplace now. And I see the red lights in the forest. It's our neighbor's truck moving around. I want to see if I can see smoke on the chimney. The closer I get, the more likely I'm gonna smell it. I'm just sorry that the Christmas tree isn't lit. That's too bad. Let me see if I see anything in the chimney. Yeah. Get closer. I love that view. Just love seeing smoke coming out of our cute little chimney, cute little cottage. Yeah, I think I'm gonna sit down and just stare at that smoke for a while. I'll sit in this chair and just listen to the birds and smell the smoke and just watch it and do nothing. That's the problem I have, is every time I come up here or anywhere on the property, my intention is to do nothing, and I end up doing more. It's just ridiculous. I would like to just train myself to come and enjoy the property just the way it is and not see work to be done and just sit and do nothing. Just nothing. And it's so hard for me to not do nothing. I mean, yeah, did I say that right? It's so hard for me to do nothing. That's what I want to say. But I'm gonna try and do that right now. I'm just gonna get in this chair, brush the snow out, put my towel down, assuming I still have it on my arm. Yes, it's still there. And I'm just gonna sit and do nothing. Ha! We'll see if it works out. Before I do nothing, you might want to see my little brush. Cheap little brush from the Dollar Tree is the perfect tool for brushing off snow, not only from these chairs, but from an automobile or Jeep. You know, when you get into a Jeep, you usually have to put your foot on a kickboard to get in. And I use it for that too, so that I don't slip trying to get into the Jeep. Anyway, so the reason I bring a towel, sorry, I'm very, try to be really thorough. The reason I bring a towel, I'm just gonna put this over here, is because I'm not sitting on that. That's freezing. And it still might have a tiny bit of ice on it. So I bring an old bath towel and put that on the chair. And then I'm not cold. Sitting down, and I can sit here indefinitely because I brought the towel. And then I have a blanket wrapped around my body like a scarf. And I can wrap that around me. I probably won't need it because I have on a hat. Usually if I have a hat on, the rest of me is perfectly fine. So I'm done. I'm gonna sit here and do nothing. I bet I can't do it. Of course I can't. I have to do nothing. I have to just sit here and do nothing because I can't find any branches right now to collect for firewood for therapeutic purposes and utilitarian purposes. So nothing might work out for me right now. I'll just look at that beautiful smoke and listen to the shovel through the trees, through the Zen garden this way, and just sit here. And I hear some birds, so that's nice. The problem with sitting here doing nothing is that I'll probably start getting cold pretty quickly. I didn't bring any of the heating pad things, hand warmers and toe warmers and back warmers and all that. I didn't bring any of those. I didn't really need them, but I might need them now. Anyway. All right, I'll explain a lot of other things about the property to you in future videos. You might want to subscribe so you don't miss anything.